Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Elders allegedly submitted final list for Ofarende, but, there was panic as Great Lion rejects, forest demand for the jewel at Àgbá Ifá Oko Mójubá. Yes, so they said at the end of Ofarende, that is happening, I think, the 29th, the last part of the Ofarende ritual will be for the jewel to go to Àgbá Ifá Oko Mójubá. I think it's a forest or something, I'm not sure, but she is supposed to go there. And the Great Lion said never, it will never happen, that she is not going anywhere. Now, what the Great Lion is doing, and one thing I love about him is how much he tries to protect that woman. No matter what anybody says about the woman, he is ready to protect the woman. Now, they said the moment the elders, submitted the final list for Ofarende, everybody thought things would finally calm down. People believe that once the ritual is done, once the last chant is spoken and the last sacrifices are made, the palace would finally breathe again. But instead of peace, the elders complicated everything when they added one quiet but dangerous instruction at the bottom of the list. Now, they said the list itself was nothing. But what they added at the bottom of the list, when I tell you people that the jewel is not fighting a territory, it's not fighting just those Oloris, it's fighting a territorial war. You guys will think I am playing. It's a territorial war. Look at the number of people that have been, leveled out. Look at the number of people that have been. See, if you want to think, they now came and they said, after Ofarende, the jewel must go to Àgbá Ifá Oko Mójubá for her final, apology ritual. Yes, so they gave list. In fact, I don't even know what to say. They gave list and all of that. But I think this happens to be something that they expected. I think is the usual. That is why to be married to a king, a big king like the Great Lion, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. But I do believe that by the time the jewel will finish all of this, she will enjoy her marriage, because all those people that were planted to cause her problems left, right, they have all been leveled out. Like no space, no face, nothing. And this happens to be the last part. But the thing is that the Great Lion is saying never, it will never happen. They say the entire palace froze when they read it. Even the Great Lions ate, whispered to each other, confused. Nobody expected that. Now, nobody expected that. Nobody expected that they would add that to the list, because it looks like it was something that had been discussed earlier. They removed it from the list, and later they say some elders again, they added it. They say it is the tradition that the Great Lion will not continue to run the tradition the way that suits him, that they must follow tradition, right? They say it is, in fact, you see this Àgbá Ifá Oko Mójubá is not a small, place or a regular forest altar. It is not the kind of place you casually visit or pass by. It is one of the oldest spiritual points used by the ancestors long before Ife became a kingdom. Only very senior elders, those who were born into deep priesthood lines, are allowed to step into the sacred section. Even they don't go there all the time. It is a place on a high ridge inside the forest where the stones of the ancient fathers are placed in a circle. They call it Oko Mójubá because the entire spot is a mountain-backed ridge where people bow, kneel, and Mójubá pay respect to the forces, older than any king, right? They say the Àgbá Ifá part means the elders of Ifá, not ordinary elders, but the spiritual custodian of the deepest Ifá mysteries, right? They say the wind, behaves differently there. More serious, more aware. Even birds don't make noise there. That is what we heard. Okay, sorry. Delara, sorry, I wanted to sneeze. Oh. So the 7 birds do not make noise in that place. Oh. They perch quietly like they understand it is not a playground, okay? Nobody is allowed to sing or cry loudly in that place. Nobody goes there without a reason that carries generational weight, and definitely nobody goes there without spiritual covering. So when the elders said the jewel must go there after Ofarende, the entire palace knew this was not a small request. Why the elders want the jewel to visit the forest is, of course, what we do know. The same is to apologize also. That's the final one, just to go there and say, I have come back, I'm your daughter. I've come to stay. I will never live like that again. I'm sorry, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. Well, the elders also insist that Ofarende, the ritual of final reconciliation and alleviation, fixes everything between humans. But Àgbá Ifa Oko Mójubá fixes everything between a person and the gods, right? According to them, Ifa is already satisfied with the step taken so far, but the jewel must show her face personally to the ancestral forces. They believe that because she is the one chosen for the great lion, she is the person that has been chosen and loved, and that not only did humans fight for the jewel, even ancestors themselves fought for the jewel. If not, the battle that the jewel has been through is battles that you wage against spirit and they do not win, not to talk about flesh and bone. And so she must go there and also pay respect to them and apologize for what happened, the way she left, the things that, you know, we have said and all of that. Okay. That they also said she doesn't need to do anything complicated. Just step into the sacred circle, kneel at the calf stone and allow the priest to speak the word on her behalf. To elders, it is normal. To them, it is tradition. To them, it is final seal. But the palace knows there is a problem with that, because the jewel, you and I know that this will be a big problem. But, well, I think it is something they are going to sort out. I believe that if the great lion has gone through all of this should be like moi for the great lion. That is what we think. The jewel does not enter forest. She is a devoted Christian. She avoids shrines. And the great lion will never force her into anything spiritual against her faith. And you and I know that the great lion has never forced her. When it comes to anything spiritual against her faith, the great lion does not force her. So this time, I know it's not going to be different. The great lion is not going to force her. But hopefully they are able to fix it, because for me, as far as I know, Adetutu is there. Maybe at the end of the day, Adetutu may also have to go for her. Well, I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.